Hello and welcome to Spencer's Library. I'm Claudia. I normally talk about books on this channel. Today I'm talking about money. Every now and again I do a little income update or I do a video talking about the analytics or the financial side of YouTube. I quite enjoy these videos, although I know that they are a little bit niche and that frankly, most of you aren't going to be interested in this. So here is your warning. I am going to be talking numbers. I'm going to be showing statistics. I'm going to be talking analytics. There will be graphs. So if that's not your cup of tea, watch something else. But if you, like me, are quite nosy and you like hearing the behind the scenes of running a YouTube channel, then welcome. I hope you like this. Before we get into the actual numbers, let's talk currency. I'm going to be giving all of my amounts, all of my numbers in British pounds. Because for most of last year I lived in the UK and I got paid in British pounds. The British pound itself went on a bit of a journey in 2020 thanks to certain political developments, but yeah, that's the easiest currency for me to talk about. If I remember in the edit, I will put dollar amounts on the screen. If not, pause the video and Google it yourself. I'm sure you can figure it out. Let's answer the first question straight away. I was considering keeping this number to right at the very end to make you watch this entire video, but I hate it when people do that in videos. So let's get right into the answer to the big question. How much money in ad revenue did I make in 2020? And the answer is, in 2020 I made £854.20. Tell me down below whether that's more or less than you thought I make in a year from ad revenue. Yes, £854.20. Just for context, at the beginning of 2020 I had about 3,500 subscribers. At the end I've got about 7,400 subscribers. So I've gained about 4,000 subscribers in that year, and I'm now at about 7,400. The number of subscribers really has nothing to do with your income. What matters much more is the number of views you have. Let me show you some of my analytics, some of the statistics over the course of last year that will hopefully explain how ad revenue works and how I ended up with that sum of money at the end of it. I really wanted to do a cool screen recording thing where I can scroll through my analytics in real time and show you all of this stuff, but my laptop cannot handle screen recording software. I don't know why, it's just being a little diva about it, and therefore I have decided to show you screenshots instead, which isn't as cool, but will give you the same amount of information, so there you go. First of all, let's look at income over the course of the year 2020. Here we can see the revenue per month. I cleverly managed to cut off the actual names of the month on the bottom of the graph. I'm a tech genius. So as you can see, the last 4 months of the year 2020 got me a lot more revenue than the first 8 months of the year. And that is not an exception. That is the same every single year. Why is that? Well, there is this metric called CPM, which means cost per mil, and that is the amount of money advertisers pay per 1,000 monetized views. For example, if I have a video that has exactly 1,000 views, and every single one of these viewers watches the advertisement at the beginning of the video, that means that every single one of these views is monetized. Advertisers could then say, hey, I want my ad in front of that video, and they would pay a certain amount of money for that, and that works on a sort of automated auctioning system. The amount of money that they are willing to pay to have their ad in front of this video depends on certain factors, such as the time of year. The end of the year, when people are spending more money on Christmas presents, etc., tends to be more lucrative for advertisers. Therefore, they are willing to pay more to have their ads put in front of my videos at the end of the year than they are in February or March. So in January of 2020, my average CPM on my channel was £6.67. And that means that advertisers on average paid £6.67 per 1,000 monetized views to have their ads displayed on my videos. In December of 2020, that number had gone up to £9.76. So in December of 2020, ads were suddenly about a third more valuable than at the beginning of the year. And that's got nothing to do with the content, that's got nothing to do with the ads themselves. It's just a more lucrative business and therefore a more competitive spot, and therefore in an auction type setup, advertisers pay more for their ads. Another factor that can influence CPM is also the topic of the video. Videos that tend to be more valuable to advertisers are videos like tech reviews, videos about computers, videos that encourage people to buy stuff, whereas videos about secondhand book shopping or videos about things completely unrelated to consumerism don't tend to sell quite as well. How much CPM exactly is and which topics and which videos sell better, it's almost like looking into a crystal ball. As a booktuber, I talk about books, so I've kind of given up the whole idea of gaming the system, playing the system. It is what it is. But let me show you over the course of 2020 which of my videos made me the most money. And that amount is partly influenced by CPM and partly, of course, influenced by the number of views these videos got. So my best earning video of 2020, my all-time classic, my top most viewed video ever, is a video called Going Grey as a Teenager, in which I talk about why, at the ripe old age of 29, I have fully grey hair, or close to fully grey hair. I don't know how much you can actually see it with my hair up in a bun like that. Anyway, that video has proven very popular. It gets consistent views pretty much every day, and people find that video by searching for it. So they'll search for something like Going Grey early and then they come across that video. It's interesting that my most earning video and my most viewed video have nothing to do with Booktube, which shows that if I want to do this as a job, I'm in the wrong business. I'm definitely talking about the wrong things. But as you can see, that video has made me a whopping £59.93. My second best earning video also has nothing to do with books, and that is my announcement about moving to Germany, and that has made me £51.59. The first kind of book related video that was well earning was 10 Things I Wish I'd Known Before Starting a Booktube channel, which has made me £48.66. That video, by the way, is an older video. It's not from last year, it's from the year before or even the year before that. I'm not entirely sure. It is not a new one. Let's look a little bit further down the top 10 list. You can see my video about Bridgerton, which is called Bridgerton Wasn't Great. This is not about historical accuracy. Probably the most stressful video I have released on my channel ever. The comment section is a train wreck. Anyway, that video has so far made me £27.56 with just over 4,600 views. The video after that in the list, which is called A Day in the Life of a Humanities PhD Student, has got 7,000 views, but has made me less money than the Bridgerton video. And that is the power of CPM. That is because, for whatever reason, probably because of the release date, because the Bridgerton video came out in December, the CPM for that video is higher than the PhD video, and therefore every view is more lucrative than in the other video. So if you look up and down this list, I'm going to leave it on the screen a little bit longer so you can have a good peruse through that. You can see that some videos make more money than others even though they have fewer views, or some videos with similar views have vastly different incomes. None of these videos has made me rich. You might not be aware of the amount of work that goes into producing a video. Even something like Going Grey as a Teenager, which has made me £60, took a long time to film, to edit, to upload, to do the description box. Now I also put closed captions on every single one of my videos, which I also do myself. So a lot of work goes into it, and I would say that none of the videos that I've produced so far have paid me a minimum wage. If you consider a minimum wage, I think in the UK it's about £8.50 at the moment. none of my videos get anywhere close to that. So let me show you the monthly overview again, and that really huge difference between a month like March, where I made under £50, to a month like December, where I made about £130. So we have an almost threefold increase of ad revenue. But if I show you the amount of views over the course of the year, you can see that the difference really isn't that big. So if you compare March to December in terms of views, the difference isn't huge, and yet the difference in income is ginormous, and that is the difference that CPM makes. I said this video was going to be about ad revenue only and not about the other income streams, but I would feel disingenuous to just talk about ad revenue as if there is nothing else going into my bank account from my YouTube work. So let me just briefly talk about Patreon and about Teespring and also about Amazon affiliate links. If you go in my description box, you will find a link to a web shop, shop.spincerslibrary.com, and that gets you essentially to a merchandise site hosted on Teespring. The income from that varies as well wildly over the course of the year. So in December, lots of people are purchasing gifts, and therefore in December 2020, I can tell you that I made, oh, I haven't got that money in pounds, I've got that money in dollars. I've made $56, and all of the previous months, it is much less than that. It is usually between $10 and $30 a month. In terms of Patreon, I think I launched my Patreon early in 2020, and it's been a consistent but fairly small stream of income as well. At the moment, I believe I am making around £23 a month from that. But hey, if you want to increase that, you could always sign up. Lots of great perks. Of course I would say that, but check it out. Amazon affiliate links, now I haven't actually included them for a while. It pretty much just means that when I talk about a specific book, I'll link to that book in the description box. And if people go onto Amazon and then buy that book or anything else, I get a small commission. That is usually between like 50p and maybe £10 a month. So that is you know, it's a very small amount of income. If we add all of this up, we can say that over the course of 2020, I made around about £1,000 from doing this channel. So there you go. I hope I've been open and transparent enough. However, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments, and I'll do my best to get to them and to give you more insight. I really truly believe that something we can take into 2021 is being more open and transparent about money in general. So let me finish it there and say thank you for watching. Bye.